Nepal, a land of awe-inspiring beauty and 8 of the world's 10 highest peaks, including Mount Everest, evokes images of Shangri-La. Trekkers and tourists alike revel in some of the most exotic and awe-inspiring landscapes on Earth. But Nepal is not Shangri-La. The immense wealth of its scenic beauty belies Nepal's dire economic condition. Half the size of Oregon, Nepal has 27 million residents who live in desperate poverty. Nepal ranks among the world's poorest countries, with 85% of the population living on less than $2 a day. Prolonged internal political instability is wreaking havoc on Nepal's weak economy. Government corruption is rampant. Ongoing political turmoil creates massive disruption of commerce and transportation in Nepal's capital, Kathmandu. An ancient caste system outlawed in 1963 is so deeply entrenched in Nepal's collective psyche that it continues to dictate social behavior. Women, conditioned to accept both male supremacy and their lowly station in society, are often victims of physical abuse. A great majority of Nepalis are subsistence farmers living in rural areas where access to education and health care are the exception rather than the rule. Just 20% of the population gets a secondary education, and 85% of rural Nepalis lack basic health care. There are fewer than 5 physicians per 100,000 residents in Nepal, compared to 270 physicians per 100,000 residents in the U.S. But thanks to efforts initiated halfway around the world in Grants Pass, Oregon, many Nepalis are facing a brighter future. In 2000, the Rogue Gateway Rotary Club of Grants Pass, in partnership with the Kathmandu Rotary, took on the task of developing a medical clinic in a remote Nepalese village. From that initial connection has evolved the Bright Futures Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping the people of Nepal by improving access to health care and education. Since the Bright Futures Foundation was founded in 2002, its generous supporters have made great strides toward those goals. Perched atop a steep hillside in the Himalayan foothills, Botachar is a primitive agrarian village. While it is home to just 200 people, nearly 50,000 live within 15 miles. Botachar can be reached by taking an hour's drive from Kathmandu and trekking 7 miles up a steep footpath. A public road used by many Nepali is treacherous and often impassable. Like a vast majority of rural Nepalis, Botachar's residents lack access to basic health care. Until recently, people walked for days and stood in line for hours to get the most rudimentary medical care provided at intermittent health camps. These camps were set up 2 or 3 times a year and served up to 400 people a day. Through a remarkable collaboration that combined the generosity of the Rogue Gateway Rotary with oversight by Kathmandu Rotary and grassroots efforts by local villagers, an aging and abandoned building in Botachar was transformed into a bustling medical clinic. The Bright Futures Foundation was formed to raise funds for the clinic's day-to-day operating expenses, including furnishings, equipment, and salaries.
I know the Bright Futures Foundation is doing health for many years, so I am involving actually in health sectors. In Botachar, this clinic is running for many years, and then since June 2005 it is running for regularly, and many people are benefiting from this Botachar health clinics. It covers wide area of populations. There is no actual data here, but I think infant mortality, which is very important parameter for the developing countries like Nepal, I think it is very good here, because they frequently visited these health centers and they are very conscious about it.
Today, Botachar Clinic provides medical care to 500 patients a month. By providing services like health education, vaccinations, and prenatal care, Botachar Clinic is meeting not only the immediate health care needs of the region, but also is improving the long-term health status of residents. In Nepal, public school education is free and compulsory through age 11, but it is woefully inadequate. In the public schools, there are an average of 40 pupils per teacher, and children labor shoulder to shoulder at their lessons in cramped, primitive facilities with few books and supplies. Teacher absenteeism is high. The adult literacy rate in Nepal is 54% nationwide, but only 26% for women and 18% for lower caste groups. Male favoritism and family chores keep most girls away from school, and domestic violence is widespread. To live up to its name and provide a brighter future for the people of Nepal, the Bright Futures Foundation also supports educational initiatives. Among those is a scholarship program to provide primary and secondary education to promising but needy youngsters from throughout the country. Bright Futures scholars attend Galaxy School, one of the largest and most prestigious private schools in the Kathmandu Valley, with 4,000 students and 500 teachers. Bright Futures scholarships include room, board, tuition, and supplies from kindergarten through completion of high school.
When I was small, my mother wanted me to go to the school, and she really forced me to go to the school in those days. After that, I had my own children, and then I wanted them also to go to the schools. But the problem in our country was there were not many schools. Private schools were there, good schools were there, but very few. In the public school, the quality of education was not that good. If you take my opinion, the first thing is a student should work hard for themselves, for an individual. Education is for the development of an individual. That's what I believe. And once they are qualified, they're getting good job, they should work for the family, then slowly for the society, and they should work for the nation also. But the first thing is they should think whether you are working for the nation or not, whether you are helping other society or not, if they can help themselves, I think that's also a big thing. I think if you talk with many people in Kathmandu, they'll say Galaxy is a good school.
To provide built-in sustainability and the broadest possible long-term benefits from the scholarships, the Bright Futures Foundation requires its scholars to sign a contract each year that promises three things. They will work hard and get good grades, that they will never in their lives harm a girl or a woman, and that at the completion of high school, they will help a young Nepali girl get an education in the same way they have. To extend its reach to public education, Bright Futures Foundation also supports Kathmandu's Shram Rastriya Public School. The foundation has equipped the overburdened school with 10 computers, creating an opportunity for these students to join the global community and improve their life situation.
The government must provide education, minimum education to all people, so the country will develop. The Chinese are developing, the Japanese are also developing, the American are also very developed country because they are educated. All people are educated. So if we want to develop our country, first of all, we provide education there. In morning time, here are 500 students. In daytime, there are also 500 students. Altogether are 1,000.
95% or more of everything that we raise, every dollar we raise, goes directly to fund one of our projects in Nepal. We have some operational expenses, of course, everybody does. We've got to pay the electricity and the phone bill. But our board is all volunteer. Everything that we do on a volunteer basis. So we are truly operating on the smallest of shoestrings so that everything that we raise can go to impact the lives of people that we know now in Nepal.
I knew a boy here that I knew was very bright, was from a poor family, and thought, why don't I do this too? The check I write for him every year thrills me. The fact that I can spend so little and do so much to change not only his life, but his family's life, it's going to just pay it forward. He's going to help his family will be in a position to help other people, and It's the greatest gift I can give for the smallest amount, and it's a pleasure to get to do it.
This is the most rewarding work I've ever done in my life. Everything that I do every day impacts somebody directly.
And it seems like such a drop in the bucket what we're doing, but if everybody would do a drop in the bucket, maybe we could help more.